It was a family affair in North Battleford this weekend, the first stop in the CPCA racing season. Now the Labacanes, both Brian and son Jamie, pulled out all the stops in days 1 and 2, but also in contention were the Nolans, Shane and Vern. They would go back and forth. Now Shane Nolan held the aggregate lead going into day 3. In Heat 2, Vern posted a 103.32, taking over top spot temporarily, putting more pressure on Shane, who hasn't won a show title since 2006 in Little Pine. So in Heat 12, Shane finished with a blistering 102.69, good enough, as you see there, to leapfrog Vern and BJ Carey to capture North Battleford. And here are your total times. Shane Nolan, your champion, with the aggregate time of 3:07.89. In second is Carey with his total of 3:08.85, just a hair better than Vern Nolan's non-point outfit, which finishes third. Chris Molly in fourth, while Vern's regular outfit is in fifth. Softball players and coaches were in for a treat this weekend as Canadian Women's National Softball coach and International Softball Hall of Famer Mark Smith was in the Border City. He shared some tips and tricks and knowledge of the game. The Halifax, Nova Scotia native played 9 international softball tournaments, including the Pan American Games and the ISF World Series. He is now in his 6th year as coach of the women's program. Now Smith comes with a fundamental message that he feels every coach needs to hear.
They play an incredibly important role in athlete development in our country, not just softball, but really every sport in the country. And oftentimes coaches underestimate the impact they have on kids. They underestimate the influence they have in keeping young people in a sport who may otherwise have been deciding they didn't want to play. And most importantly, what a responsibility they have to ensure to the best of their ability that kids are having a good, positive, healthy sport experience.
You've got a top-notch caliber coach such as himself. He's been to all the Pan Ams and Worlds and Olympics and stuff like that. You know, as soon as he even opens his mouth, whatever he has to say is really important, and you know, all the coaches are glued to him.
Smith also had a chance to impart some wisdom to some of the young athletes, hoping to further their softball careers.
I think it never hurts for them to be aware that if that's part of the dream in terms of where they'd like to play, to understand what it takes to get there.
To lacrosse now, the Wheatland Extreme were back in action last night in the Border City. Now the Extreme hoping to bounce back after dropping a 7-5 decision to the Lakeland Heat. Now they took on the struggling Sherwood Park Titans and came out with a 13-9 victory courtesy of a full 4-goal performance by Brant McAllister and Brandon Peterson's 2 goals and 3 assists. Now the Vermilion Roar faced those same Titans. It was in the first period, 3-1 for Vermilion. Kagan Bowman gets by the defender, ripping it home. 1 of 5 goals for Kagan, giving Vermilion a 3-goal lead. Moments later, it's his brother Colby who slices through and finds mesh. That would make it 5-1 Roar. Now 5-2, Titans turn it over. Kagan to Colby. Chuck up another goal. As good as the Roar were on offense, they did have a few breakdowns on the other end. Titans shorthanded. It's 007 himself, James Bond, left all alone. He scores, cutting the lead in half, but the Rage were too much. Colby would score 4 goals in the first period alone, 6 in the entire game. Roar cruised to a 23-10 victory. After starting the season winless in the first 4 contests, the Vermilion Rage have won 3 straight, looking to get back into 500. However, the Okotoks Erratic didn't get that memo. 12-10 Okotoks was the final. The Rage's next contest is Saturday, June 7th against the Calgary Irish. Now, it wouldn't be a Sunday sportscast without the Newcap Top 3, which goes hand in hand, just like Sonny and Cher. Well, they did. Okay, how about this? Orange juice and just brushing your teeth. That was a suggestion by Bart Padyasik, and that one's going to go in the fail column. Okay, how about this one? Construction on Highway 17. Yeah, I think that one was a bad one. Okay, all bad examples aside, we do have a great top 3. Enjoy. Number 3, Standard Hill Lakers pitcher Dylan Kuffner with the quick reflexes, turning the 1-6-3 double play. Number 2, Jamie Labacane, back on the wagon after suffering a serious injury last season and comes up with the fastest time on day 1. And number 1, Vermilion Roar's Colby Bowman. With all kinds of space and just a flick of the wrist, the goalie has no chance. And before we leave you in the NSRBL, the Midwest Expos host the Standard Hill Lakers at 6:30 tonight at Legion Ballpark, all due, of course, to weather permitting.